Hello friends, in one of my previous videos, I talked about pharmacy registration in Germany. And in that video, I told you that I'll give another video about the process and then how the pharmacy registration can be completed in Germany. So, if you have not seen that video, I'll give a link of that video in the I button. You can see it later. But then more than that, in that video, I told you about the equivalency test, the assessment test which is being conducted for the language level, for the content level. At the end of the test, you get an approbation, which is the license to work as a pharmacist. So, in case you have missed it, you will see it in the I button. And if you have already viewed my video in the previous video, then make sure that you go through this video from the beginning till the end so that you don't miss out on anything. Pharmacy registration job is very attractive in Germany, and these days the attraction, there are different reasons for the attraction. So in my video today, what I'm going to present before you is to do the registration process. What are the procedures that we need to take in Germany, and why we do the registration process? Because what are the attractive features for the pharmacy industry, or as a pharmacist, what are the attractions in Germany? There are several attractions. Probably when we compare with the Indian situation, in India we have seen how the pharmacies work. But when we look at Germany, how the pharmacies work, it's a different context, and that is where the attraction lies for a pharmacist when he or she goes to Germany. One important factor is that in Germany there is the presence of big pharma companies. Because of that, it has become the hub of production and research for pharma industry across the world. So anybody who goes as a pharmacist or who wants to work in a pharma company, there is a great attraction in Germany. Then one most important thing which we need to keep in mind is that, which probably we don't see in India, but we can see that in Germany, is that in Germany there are 2-3 things which protects a pharmacist. Number one is only a pharmacist can operate a pharmacy, which means only a pharmacist can start a pharmacy. And number two is a third party cannot run a pharmacy, which means if only I have a pharmacist registration, only I can start the pharmacy. Number three is multiple ownership of pharmacy is not allowed in Germany. It is banned actually in Germany. Now I'll tell you what are the advantages of these things. Number one is only a pharmacist can start a pharmacy in Germany, or only a pharmacist can operate a pharmacy in Germany. In German we call Apotheke. Pharmacy is called Apotheke. So the advantage is only a pharmacist can start a pharmacy, means a pharmacist's job is protected. Either he can work in a pharma company, he can work in a pharmacy, he or she can work in a pharmacy, or he or she can start a pharmacy on her own or his own. So that's a big advantage for a pharmacist in Germany. Number two is a third party is not allowed to operate a pharmacy, which means if you look at the Indian context, we can start a pharmacy with the license of another pharmacist, but that's not allowed in Germany. If somebody has to start a pharmacy, that person has to be a licensed pharmacist. If I have a personal business interest, I cannot use the license of another one to start a business there. So which is again protecting a pharmacist in Germany. And number three is multiple ownership is banned, which means shareholding. Maybe 5 people, 10 people, or more than 10 people come together and they own a pharmacy and they run it. Now that is not allowed in Germany, because there are several reasons for that. One important reason is that this will create a pharmacy chains who will have only commercial interests in the pharma industry. So Germany wants to make sure that there is a personal liability, personal responsibility in dispensing drugs or in dispensing medicine. So that's why individual pharmacists can operate a pharmacy. So there is a personal liability, personal responsibility. But when it is a third party, the personal responsibility is on the pharmacist who is registered. So that's not allowed in Germany. And number three, when multiple ownership is there, then they will only have commercial interest in running a pharmacy. Germany doesn't want that. They want their citizens to be safe. They want to have an efficient drug dispensing system there. So if there are pharmacy chains, they may form an oligarchy, they may form a cartel to keep their interests protected rather than the interest of the community. So that is the reason why the multiple ownership of pharmacy is prohibited in Germany. Now, these things are very advantageous for a pharmacist, because number one is his job is protected. He can find a self-employment on his own. Another important context of pharmacy in Germany is that the aging population is drastically increasing in Germany. So community pharmacists have to play a key role in a safe and efficient dispensing of drugs or treatment to the citizens. So they want to make sure that the pharmacy system is going to be excellent in Germany. Even they have a vision called Pharmacy 2030. What they want to do is, they want to make sure that there is safe and efficient treatment in Germany. Also, they are also giving serious consideration for the pharmacy education, the basic education, the further education, the continuing education. All these things are given serious consideration because they want to have a safe and efficient treatment for their citizens. So, in these contexts, Germany is going to be very attractive for pharmacist profession. They have, as I said earlier, they have a protection of their employment. They can find a self-employment. Also, these systems also protect the customer and the pharmacist equally. So, this is the advantage for a pharmacist in Germany. Now, somebody who has a registration in pharmacy, a B.Pharm graduate with a registration in India, or a M.Pharm graduate, if they want to go to Germany, as I said earlier, they have to do the equivalency test, the assessment has to be done. Now, this is a long process. So, when you have to undergo this long process, when you send all your documents to the assessing authority, when they send a response to you when you are in India, now this is going to be a long process. So, what I am going to do is, I will suggest you another easy method which all pharmacists can choose. The best option is, there are a lot of pharmacy master programs, pharmacy related master programs which is being conducted in English. So, if you can apply for a pharmacy related master program in Germany, which is a 2-year program, if you get admission for that, the advantage is you don't have to do that in German, you can do that in English. So, you have your English eligibility and then apply for the master degree, get the admission for the masters. There are quite a lot of master degree programs. I am not going to elaborate on that, but then remember that you should choose a master degree program in Germany. And once you take up a master degree program, even if your German is not going to be very good, it doesn't matter. Maybe you have A2 level of German, maybe you have B1 level of German, but we should have an occupational language test, which is your language level for the pharmacy career. That is what is going to be tested there. So, even if you have a lower level of German, you still take up the master degree program in Germany. When you have the 2-year master degree program, improve your German language, and during that period, you can apply with all your documents, you can apply to the assessing authority for a pharmacist registration. Also, it gives you an important chance, because once you are in Germany, it's easy for you to find an employment in a pharmacy. So, when you have an employment, initial employment in a pharmacy, you are not going to be a pharmacist, but you will be working under a pharmacist. When you are going to be in a pharmacy, you know the process, you know the language, you will learn how to communicate, you know how things have to be done in Germany. So, these things, these experiences will give you an advantage when you give your assessment test. Because when you are in India and then immediately go for the assessment, then these advantages are not going to be there. So, do the master degree program. During that, do the submission of the documents to the assessment authority, then improve the language, then give the assessment test. I am sure that all of you who go for the pharmacist registration in Germany are going to get the license as a pharmacist. So, I hope this is a very inspirational video experience for all the pharmacists who are looking forward to going to Germany. And if you like my video, hit the like button, share with as many people as you can. Until my next video, goodbye.